Last week we made a video talking about the negative sides of van life and why you maybe don't want to start van life. Today we're going to talk about the positives, what we like about van life, and some of the reasons you might consider doing van life anyway.
First up is freedom. Traveling in a van is a way of traveling that comes with a lot of freedom. You can go wherever you want and you can stay wherever you want. And you can do it all in your own time. Living in a van means that you have a high flexibility in the way you can travel. You can stay at the location for as long as you want.
If you're somewhere on a nice beach that you're planning to stay one night, but you want to stay a few more nights, you can. You don't have to check out of a hotel at a certain time. You can stay a couple of days extra. On the other hand, you arrive at the place you're staying and you're thinking, this is not quite what I was expecting. You don't have to go and book another hotel and waste the money you spent on the first hotel. You can just go and find somewhere else. It's not quite so easy in reality, but
the possibility is there.
And it's much cheaper than rebooking a hotel or booking a new flight because you want to leave early. Also, on that note, you don't have to rely on flights and trains and buses. You don't have to catch a flight or train or bus. You don't have to rebook tickets if you miss them or if they're cancelled. And you also avoid the chance of your method of transportation being cancelled.
No booking tickets, no reservations needed. Just go wherever you and however you want. It is cheap. Living on the road is a relatively cheap way to travel the world. Of course, especially in Europe, fuel costs are fairly high. Of course, you have to buy your groceries, and if you want to go eat out once in a while, it's not going to be cheap. But you save a lot in not having to book your hotel room or your hostel. You do not need to go to restaurants all the time because you always have your kitchen with you.
As opposed to backpacking where you can't really carry much food. Paul is cooking, and he's cooking something very nice. Potato fritters, and look at that one. It is big.
Look at this baby.
And thick and round and nice. And what are we having next to it?
Just some veg, because potato fritters is a bit plain, and we don't really have like applesauce or yogurt or creams.
How is it?
The vegetables are plain as wanted, just a pinch of salt, bit of oregano, and the potato fritters. Nice and deftig to Deutsch. Nice and well spiced.
Occasionally you do have to pay for campsites if there aren't really any other options for where you can stay.
And sometimes you have to pay for your electricity or water if you need that.
But in the long run, buying a van is cheaper than paying for a hotel or hostel every night. Also, living in a small space stops you from spending so much money on unnecessary things because you don't really have the space to put unnecessary things. Traveling, not just van or motorhome, but also any form of traveling, really opens the mind. You can experience different cultures, different ways of life, especially through volunteering, workaways, and experiencing these different cultures and ways of life gets you out of your bubble and opens your mind to all the different possibilities, different foods that you could eat that you never thought of making or eating. And you can begin to understand why the world is the way it is, why cultures are the way they are. You can have a lot more understanding for other people because you might be able to understand more how they think. When you live in a van or even backpack, you learn what is actually essential to you. Because all your belongings need to fit in such a small space, and you don't really have space to add more things. So you can live very minimally and figure out what you actually need for a comfortable life.
Yo, Hayley,
What?
have you told them about the Instagram yet?
No, I have not. But if you want to see more of our daily lives in real time, you can follow us on our new Instagram account that is linked in the description below.
Then next we come to a very important point, especially for some people like Hayley, tidiness.
Van life forces you to be tidy. I have a tendency to leave my clothes lying around the place and books lying around the place. And I can't really do that in a van because to drive, we need to make sure that nothing can fall. I do leave my clothes lying around a little bit though. But because there's such a small space, everything has its place and everything needs to go in its place. Otherwise, you're very quickly feeling very stuffy and, well, you can't drive if stuff's gonna fly around.
And last but not least, the most important point why one should do van life. You see the world and you see it the way you want it. You get to travel in such nice locations, to stay at such remote places that you cannot reach otherwise.
Van life allows you to reach places that you wouldn't be able to reach otherwise. You can see the world from a different perspective, and it offers a very unique way to explore the world.
If this video has convinced you that van life is the right thing for you, hold your money, hold your horses, because last week we made a video on why things are maybe not quite as you expect them. Check that out first before you make final decisions.
And if you're still sure that's what you want to do and you want some inspiration for where to go, you can subscribe to our channel to see our vlogs from our journey. Goodbye!